Hey guys, here we go with 8.2's lesson, which is the volume of a cone. As you saw in the visual demonstration, which we would have done had we been together, we can see that a cylinder is 3 times the volume of a cone. They literally filled up the cone that had the same diameter and same height 3 times to fill the cylinder. So I know this looks a little bit weird because they're using the big B, but remember the big B represents the area of the base. So in this picture, the area of the base would be pi r squared since it's a circle. And so you're basically plugging that in right here for big B, multiplying it by the height of the cone, and then they say times 1/3, but I think it's easier to divide by 3. So I'm going to say pi r squared h divided by 3. Alright, so jumping into our first example, we have the diameter, we need the radius, so just divide it by 2, and then volume is pi times 2 squared times 6, all divided by 3. At this point, you can evaluate this however it makes most sense to you. Whatever number sense makes it the easiest. So what comes to mind for me is I'm just going to do 2 squared, which is 4, times 6, because that's going to give me 24. And I know I can divide that easily by 3. Alright, so 24 divided by 3 is 8. That would be 8 pi that I just need to multiply out really quickly. So that would be 25 and 12/100 meters cubed. And again, I am going to round to the nearest hundredth anytime it makes sense, because I multiplied by 3 and 14/100. Okay, in this next example, you are to find the height. You don't know the height on this one, but you do know the volume. So we're going to plug in 956 is pi times our radius, which is 9 squared, times our height. Okay, and divide that by 3. And that's probably going to be where people make mistakes right there, because they're going to forget to divide by 3 because it's a cone. Just make a mental note to yourself that it's a cone, so you've got to divide by 3 or multiply by 1/3. Okay, so again, I'm going to think about what makes the most sense. Number sense wise, and I'm gonna square the 9 to get 81, and I'm gonna divide that by 3 because I think 3 goes into 81 perfectly. In fact, I know that because when you add the 8 and 1, it's 9, which is divisible by 3. Our little divisibility rules there. Alright, so that's 27. So 27 pi h. I just did the 81 divided by 3, so the denominator is gone. Alright, so now I'm going to divide by 27. I do not think this one's going to be super nice, but okay, we'll see what we get. 27 into 956. Too much. Alright, so 3. Too much. And there it is, 5. Okay, keep in mind that you can round, but the sooner you round, the less accurate your answer becomes. So maybe I'll just go a little bit more, because I am going to divide this one by 3 and 1400ths too. So it's gonna get a little bit hairy. All right, let's see if I have anything close. 5, what was 4? I didn't finish that. 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that one's pretty close. All right, so 4 would be 108, and that would give me a remainder of 2. And that's going to be nothing. So I'm just going to stop there. It's going to be 35 and 4/10 or 40/100ths, whatever you choose to say. Okay. Then, if that equals about 35 and 40/100ths, I need to still divide that by pi. So my final answer is going to be, let's see, separator there. Move it over twice and move it over twice. Okay, so it's going to be 11 and something. In this case, because we're doing so much work to subtract here, I'm trying to talk while I'm calculating, it's not working out. It really wouldn't make sense to go to the hundredths place, it's just making more work for ourselves, so we'll just get to the tenths place and we'll say that that's good enough, which actually means we do have to go to the hundredths place because we have to be able to round the tenths place. Okay, so I think I just made a mistake somewhere. Calculating, sorry guys. Hope you're calculating while I'm trying to figure this out too. This is real life. Alright, I can't find my mistake. I am going to clear some space and start again. The beauty of long division. You better not be using a calculator while I'm over here struggling, guys. Alright, let's try this again. Might have been right there. Yep, it was. What's that gonna be? 2? 3? 3's too much, so it's gotta be 2. Okay, here we go, we're cruising now. 6, 28. So that's going to be 232. And that is not right. 432. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? 432. Okay. Alright, you know what? We're just going to say that. That is good enough, guys. 11 and 2/10. Hopefully that's good enough. Alright, moving on too much time on this one. And our unit is feet, since this is our height. Apologies if this is slightly off. Okay, now on your own, try these two. Pause the video, come back, and check your answer. Hopefully you don't struggle as much on your multiplication like I did, but if you do, don't use a calculator. Okay. And here we go. So that was a lot of work. I'm glad I did it in advance. It's kind of hard to see, but here is the answer for the first one. I rounded to the tenths because it was just doesn't make sense to go one more place value when you don't need to. And this one's hard to see, so let me highlight that one in green. Our final answer here is 30.5 yards. All right, now for our crazy example 3. I don't know if you've ever seen these before, but it is a timer, like an old school timer. And you have sand on one side and you flip it, and once the sand is gone, then that means the time's up. Okay, so you must answer this trivia question before the sand in the timer falls to the bottom. The sand falls at a rate of 50 cubic millimeters per second, and as we can see, we've got a cone in the picture. How much time do you have to answer the question? So, looking at what we have, this number is actually irrelevant. We don't need that. We're just focusing on the amount of sand. So we are going to find the volume first, which is going to be pi times 10 squared. We're like that. It's going to be an easy play on numbers. And then multiply that by 24. So that's going to be 100 pi times 24, which actually I'll do that first this time because, oh, and don't forget to divide by 3. Whoopsies. Because that is going to be 314 times 24, and divide that by 3. And actually, I think I can make this even easier by doing the 24 divided by 3 to get 8. So it's just going to be 314 divided by 8. So, I'm sorry, times 8, not divided by 8. We're going to get 25, or 2,512. Okay, and that is our volume. But they asked us for the time. So if they told us that it falls at a rate of 50 cubic millimeters per second, this is very similar to what we did in yesterday's. We're going to take that millimeters cubed over 1 and multiply by 1 second. It says second. Per 50 millimeters. And again, the reason we're setting it up like this instead of just dividing is to show that these are going to cancel out. So we just need to do 2,512 divided by 50. And I'm just going to make it easy on myself and get rid of a 0 to add back in the end. Oopsies. That's a 2. Okay, and then again, I did get rid of a 0, so that means I need to move back a place value. So it's going to be, well, to be honest with you, since we're talking about time, let's just round this to the nearest second. How much time? Yeah, it's saying per second. So let's just say that's about 50. Oops, there we go. 50 seconds. Okay. All right. So on your own, we're going to try these two, which relate back to the third example there. It's kind of nice on this one because all they're changing is the rate. But in the second one, you will have to, or in number 4, I should say, you are going to have to do the volume over again. Okay, so pause the video and then come back and check. All right, so here we are. This is our number 3 at the same volume as we had here for number 3, example 3, 25 or 2,512. And we should get approximately 41 seconds. And for the second one, when we're starting all over, we get the volume, but we need the amount of time, the rate. So we are saying approximately 6 seconds. Okay. So here is the mini. And I think it makes sense to round to the nearest 100th instead of 10th. But let's just double check. I think so, yeah. And then for the last one, it might make more sense. So you guys decide. There will be leeway on the rounding based on how you completed the problem. So good luck, and then don't forget to submit your answers on the survey or the form on Google Classroom, and check for the book questions after this. All right, thanks guys.